hello. Well, it has been an absolute hot minute since I did some recording. It's been a pretty chaotic couple of years for me. I think I might have mentioned perhaps in my last video, which was a while ago, that we started homeschooling in 2023, and that has really made a big difference to how much spare time I have. Having said that, I have always kept up with my planning. I just haven't had the time to do any filming. I'm feeling a little bit more on top of things after a couple of years of adjusting and finding my rhythm. So I'm hoping to get a little bit more time on the channel this year. Fingers crossed. I thought that I would just start off my return back to filming with I guess a bit of a planner stack for 2026 and also just a little walkthrough of January 2026 in my primary planner. So I am going to be using these three planners. So this is my 5-year. I've actually been in this, since 2023. So I started it probably, pretty soon after I kind of stopped regular filming. And I've only got 2 more years in it, which is really cool. So I've been really consistent with that, which has been lovely. I probably won't show it heaps because it's just a summary of whatever I put in my main planner. And I just like to sort of compare and contrast. If you guys want more of that, please do let me know. And I'm keeping this in it would be a Moterm, I'm pretty sure, in the Blue Iris Croc, this is my favorite color. It's just so pretty. It's really hard to find covers this color. I don't know why. So yeah, love this. I also have this cover in for Hobonichi weeks, but I'm not using the weeks this year. I haven't needed it so far. Sometimes I get to halfway through the year and I just decide I need somewhere I can just jot things down. So I don't know. Watch this space in case I change my mind. But this is my 5-year, as I said, and that's a Hobonichi Techo 5-year. This is my main one. I will come back to this one. This is my work planner, so I can't show a lot of detail in this. This is a Filofax A5, and this is in Blue Iris. I think that's what it's called. And again, how pretty is that? It's a few years out of date, and I actually had trouble finding it. I scoured the internet and then ended up putting a bit of a call out on a local planner group just to see if anyone had one they wanted to sell, and there was. So I have this in a dark purple as well, but this one just grabs my heart every time. That just gorgeous sort of violet blue purple. So pretty. So yeah, I think I can at least show you the first couple of pages, because there's just lots of fun things, not necessarily anything work related. I'm using in this one, I've got sterling ink blank inserts, and I use those sort of for dailies or for jotting down. And then, this is really tricky. And then I've got monthly and weeklies from Sterling Ink as well. So they are the main ones that I am using. That one's fairly neutral. Got holidays. Nothing sensitive in there. But I'm sure you can sort of find a blank week as well. So this is the layout for the Sterling Ink loose leaf this year, and I was kind of glad that I got the Filofax because I was really intrigued by this layout, the way that it can be vertical or horizontal. The paper is definitely a little different. I think it's Cosmo. It's okay. I definitely love the traditional Tomoe, but this is lovely. It's really sort of smooth and it does hold up relatively well. Let me know if you guys want a test page or anything like that. And I've got these month dividers that are clear, that go straight across so I can chuck it in at the start of a month. It's great until you don't realize it's there. I've literally, for February, I actually tried to draw on this and got really confused for a moment and thought my pen wasn't working. Not the pen, clear divider. Anyway, had a moment. So yeah, that is my work planner. And then this is my main planner for the year. Excuse all the cat hair. I've got this felt like mouse desk pad, which I love because it's, I don't know, it just feels nicer, but it does collect all the cat fur from my dear little darlings. So anyway, so this is, okay, so I'm using the Basics Sterling Ink Complete Planner, and I've got it in the pink, and I have put it inside. I saw like there was a bit of online conversation about which planner covers would fit it. So this is the Moterm, and this is the Happy Planner Basics. So it definitely does have like the space for the discs, and you know, if that bothers you, then you know, keep that in mind if you're going to go for this particular combination. It doesn't bother me at all. So I still find that it opens really nicely. It lays flat. I can still do whatever it is I need to do in here. So it's slid right up to the edge for this, and then I can still fit some pens. And then if you were to close it right close, it's got about that much overhang. So just bearing that in mind if that's something that will bother you. For me, as I said, doesn't really worry me. I'm happy for it to kind of float around and do whatever and chunk up as needed. Also, if I wanted to take a few extra pens with me, I can slide this out a little further, somewhat, and it still closes just fine, and you can fit extra pens in there. So, like, not hating that. So that is what I'm using this year. That is my planner system. And then in terms of how I have been going through January, I love this planner. This was not, I guess, in my mind to use. I had intended just to use the common planner, as I have been for the last few years. And I typically do the common planner in 2 books. I use a 2-book system because she does get chunky. I like putting extra things in. So it's been a while since I've done a whole year in 1 book, and I don't know. We'll see how that goes. I'm not feeling too bad about it at the moment, and I'm not, I guess, trying to adjust by not putting too much weight in either. So we'll see how it holds up. Bit of a tester year. Yeah, you guys can probably tell if you don't already know, I'm very much a purple girly, but I don't know, I don't mind this pink. It's sort of dusty enough that it blends quite well into the rest of my usual color palette. So I'm rolling with it, and I'm okay with it. So I will just start flipping through. This was my note to talk about what I planned on using. I've got a homeschool planner as well. Let me know if you guys want to have a look at that, if there's any sort of curiosity around the homeschool side of things. I don't know if that's actually something people would be interested in. It's not a super common thing in Australia. It's become a lot more so in the last few years, but anyway, let me know. So I just sort of tried highlighting that. I used some dot markers that were very, very pale, and I've actually since got the Midori join dots, which I'm using, and I will show you more a little bit later of those. And I love those. They've got such great colors. This is a little bit pale. This is supposed to be blue and purple, and I mean, it's obviously green, but I don't know. Anyway, I don't really refer to that page very much. This is my vision board, and I did a 2026 bingo card. I love this thread. I've used some like ink underneath, and then I've got some shimmer paints as well. And then what else have I got? Coffee Monsterz stickers, some washi stickers. That's sterling ink. This I think was from an online Etsy store that I suspect has since closed. I've had it just sitting in my sticker pile for a really long time. And then these are rub-on transfer stickers that I actually just got from, I think it was from Temu. Please don't judge me. But anyway, they're really pretty. I just did this bingo card on Canva, so I could just tweak it however I want, and it's got a mixture of things that I want to be doing this year and also a few goals as well. This page is my sort of yearly tracker, and I've actually just put a little strip of washi so it actually just overhangs a little bit, and it's really easy for me to find. And then I've just like trimmed the top to create a tiny sort of mini tab, you can see. So this I'm doing the Bible in a year, and I'm reading it chronologically. But I did get this little sticker kit from Amazon, and it comes with like the Bible books, the Bible in sticker form, so you can add them on as you finish them. So I've done Genesis and Job, and I'm working through Exodus at the moment. This is my year in pixels, and I am using this for wellness. And this is where I'm using the Midori join dots predominantly, and I've created my own little scale. So come across these. I saw these loosely. I think it was Helen from Coffee Monsterz Co. I think she got some as a tester, and I love dot markers, and I was a little bit obsessed. I've got so many different versions, so I just really tried to get my hands on these. I've rearranged the colors, so this is not how they come. I think you can buy them as individuals or as packs of 3, and I got them as 2 packs of, well, 9. Yeah, 3 on a stick. So yes, I've been using these, and I've created my own, I guess, scale of colors based on my favorite colors, and I am using the following page, which that's just birthdays and things like that. But this was an easy flip for me, so I've just put a little tab in there. I'm keeping my book list of those I've read, and then I'm using these quarterlies as trackers, and I'm doing a rating based on how many of these good things I do minus how many of these things affect my wellness. And then I do an overall rating. So for example, 1st of January, I ate well, I did not sleep well. I have a Labrador who doesn't cope well with fireworks. I did not sleep well. I drank a lot of water. I spent time in prayer. I did not do any exercise. And I did something to replenish me as a person. I have a list of those here. So this might be something like read a book, went for a floatal massage, did some painting or drawing, connected with a friend, did something musical, did some puzzling, something like that. And then these are my move goals. So walking, yoga, dance, sport, swim, something like that. So that's kind of my measure for that. In this instance, I was not on my cycle, I did not work, and I did not have any pain. And so my rating is 1, 2, 3, 4. If, say, worst case scenario, I am on my cycle, I did have to work, and I had pain, then even though I did all of these things here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I take away 3, and my rating is 2. And you can see that on the 13th of January, I have rated myself as a 2. So that's how I'm measuring that. And I'm staying pretty consistent with that, actually. I'm pretty pleased with it. As you can see, I'm filming this a little bit later. It's been a busy week. The kiddos went back to school. So things got hectic, but I'm also back in rhythm. So anyway, so that's how I'm doing my year in pixels. Let me know if you have questions. You've seen this. That's just future quarters. This was December. I tend to sort of at least pencil in the previous month, even if I'm not really using it. It's just nice to be able to kind of go back to it. This is my test page I've got Winsor & Newton paints and my Shimmer drops. I did a month of these because I got the Christmas palette, not in 2025, but 2024. So not last year, but the year before. I really had to think about that. What year is it? So yeah, this palette is from the 2024 Christmas Advent. I've also got I had a test page in here just for watercolors and a bit of a test a week. With the complete planner, you have a huge number of additional or doubled up weeks. And so, yeah, I don't know. You can use them as you want. Some people might find that a bit difficult. I don't mind. I don't have a pressure to use every single page. So, Not a worry there for me. This is my mild liner chart. I do have all of them now. I got them with Christmas money. So I am loving, love these like newer ones as well. So I used to only have the top three and then I invested in these options. So you might be able to see out of the corner of your eye, I've got all of them set up here by color because I love a good rainbow. And actually it's so nice to sort of have them out. I actually did, this is sort of jumping ahead because I just did this week, but I did this coloring page and it's all with mild liners. So I was really happy. I did not draw this. I just colored it in. But yeah, just the color combinations are so pretty. This is the Midori join dots and the colors. So as I said, have separated them out and went online to find their titles, and I've just put them into a bit of a spectrum. My brain just works better that way. Blank page. For the start of a month, am doing what I did for the yearly. I'm just putting a strip of washi and creating a little tiny bit of an overhang just so it's easy to find the start of a month. And the way that the complete planner works, I'm sure if you're watching this video, you have probably seen them in the planner community already. It's going to be separated out month at a time, so you don't have all the months at the beginning and then the weeks and then the dailies. It's all chunked into one section. And that really speaks to me. It was the main selling point for me with this. So this was my January spread. I have the Coffee Monsterz Co. like monthly, that's February, but I've got these sheets. I've got that for the whole year, and then I'm using some leftover sterling ink stickers. I discovered at the end of last year that my sticker collection is way too big, and so I stopped my sterling ink subscription because I would like to just really use the beautiful stickers that I have. So I've paused for a little while and I'm hoping to use them all up. I don't really want to show on camera how many I have. It is a little embarrassing, but safe place, right? And I think we've all been there. So I'm just, yes, working on using what I have this year. And I used that mentality to justify an extra little splurge this year, and I have bought the Liene PixCut printer as well, which is a photo printer and sticker cutter in one. Exorbitantly expensive, but if I'm not buying a monthly subscription, I'm saving some money / putting it somewhere else. So I did do that, which had arrived on this day. So this is my title page for January. I tried to sort of match the colors with the Coffee Monsterz Co theme. This is my highlights. I love my little highlights reels, and I got the chapter headers from the Coffee Monsterz Co, so I can sort of use them on these title pages. So I just write a couple of things, 1 or 2 things for each day, even if it's not a lot. I think there was one here, reading and rest. I didn't do much on the 4th of January, but I still have some highlights. And this notebook has space for my sermon notes as well, so I'm just jotting down what I am recording at church. So this was my first weekly spread of January. Yeah, I tried doing a little bit of doodling. I'm not great with that, but maybe with practice, right? My highlights for this week were honestly, starting a new planner is always amazing. I did get to have some auntie day. This is one of my nieces, and she came over and we hung out. She'd actually requested a day, just the 2 of us, so that was super fun. We played some drums and I don't know, went and had breakfast, and then we ended up at the pool together with the whole family afterwards. It was a good week. We were still on holidays, and then I was back to work. So as I said, because it goes in order, you've got a month, title page or index or whatever you want to put here, a week, and then you've got these 7 days, well, in this case, that month. because remember this was in the week before. So it is a little bit of a different layout. It took me a little bit, I think. There's definitely a few sort of challenges because it is quite different in some ways, but I've come to really like it. So here's where I've still got a time bar that I'm loosely following, and then I've got space to just do a bit of journaling or put some stickers down or whatever. This was Women's Christmas. Some of my girlfriends get together each year around the start of January just to have a meal and to sort of start off the year really gently, and it's so fun. I think I've made it every year I've been friends with them. It's the day before I go back to work. I was not feeling it. I love my job, I really do, but I don't know, I just wasn't feeling it. So as you can see, the end of the week, so Sunday, and then there's a page for like the end of every week. This is a funny month or funny week because of where January started. It started on the Thursday, so there was a double page, and this was the actual day that I got, although I got them that week, the mild liner, Midori join dots. So I was just roughly testing them out. That was before I actually put them onto the other spread. But there is a page at the end of every week, you'll see, so I can do some notes there. This was the week I went back to work. I felt that so significantly, and we were having a bit of a heat wave that week as well. So this is degrees Celsius, so it did get up to 41 degrees Celsius. It was really hot. I was playing with my new PixCut, which arrived on Tuesday. So I took these photos and then I've just sort of pulled images from Pinterest and I don't know, wherever. And then I've got these are, I want to say this was Little Linda stickers. I will check that and pop a link down in the caption. I had a go at sword yoga. I don't know if you've seen that online. The company is Weapon Up, and it's so fun. I'm hoping to really fit it into my schedule a little bit more, but I haven't been very consistent through January, but I'm really hoping to. It was really fun. If you haven't heard of it, you should look into it. Went back to work. I was struggling a bit, but I got my new printer, so I focused on playing with that rather than doing journaling. This was that heat wave that we were getting. I was getting my ducks in a column, doing some homeschool preparation. We were up for re-registration this month. We were successful. We got 2 years, which was great. I've just got some sticky notes over things that are a bit personal. January 11th, Sunday. So this is a much more typical week where you've got the Sunday spread and then a blank page, and then it goes into the next week. Catching up with my bestie, 1,000,001 meetings, including my meeting with the AP. So in New South Wales, where I live, we have to meet with an AP at the start of every new registration period. Our AP is so lovely, and we've met him quite a few times now. He just really likes to sort of get to know the child and, see a few things that, my child has been working on that he's really excited about. And we got 2 more years. So my youngest son is the one who is homeschooled, and we will be doing grades 7 and 8, first 2 years of high school, at home at this stage. So Thursday I was doing a lot of planning because my eldest, who is still in a mainstream school, he turns 15 this month. Me catching up with my bestie. This was as I said, I'm reading the Bible chronologically in a year, and I found there's an actual Bible that just has it all laid out, and I've ordered it, but it has not come. I ordered it at the end of December, and it is the beginning of February, and I still haven't seen it yet, but I believe it is shipped and it is coming soon. But in the meantime, I'm just using a printout from online that follows it. So yeah, just ticking it off as I go. 14th was a really It's just no rude ones. The 14th was a really hard day because I had work and then I had a tricky family thing and then I had like an AP meeting. Anyway, it was a lot, but we got there. And then this was the invitation that I made for my son's 15th. Just did that on Canva as well. 16th, I had work and then I had my nephews come over for a sleepover to play with my two boys. Lots of fun. They're so much fun. I saw this on, hopefully that's actually showing. I don't know how they're, but it just made me giggle. At this point, I'm willing to hear Pinky's platform if Pinky and the brain are still trying to take over the world. Anyway, made me giggle. For those who have watched the show. Yeah, another Sunday and my sermon notes. This is really good because it helps me to try and think of just a summary as well instead of just writing everything down. So I only have one page. Make sure you're getting the point. So Monday the 19th, weekly spread. I had work. I got wet. It was a very wet day. This was a crazy week actually. My mum was going in for a planned procedure and everything went well, so nothing super worrying there. But we found out here that we had to be in the city by 6:30 and it's like an hour and a half, 2-hour trip. So I was up at 4:30 that morning and I probably would have made it back for work, but I just couldn't. So I cancelled work. I took that day as a sick day. I just was not going to be my best self that day. And she was in overnight as well, so I collected her and still managed to work on Wednesday though, which was good. Saturday was my eldest son's birthday party with his gorgeous, gorgeous mates. They're such an amazing bunch of teenagers. You don't hear that a lot these days, but these guys, good bunch. Great families. Love them all. And then I also had a sneaky a little cocktail with one of my besties that afternoon as well. So these are the dailies from that week. Early morning cancel my clients. I was so fuzzy. Like I had the day off, but I was just so tired. I don't even really know like what I did. The boys actually had a sleepover that night. There you go. They were still on holidays. Which was so nice. It was just, yeah, me and my husband and we had a very relaxed evening. It was so, so lovely. Just what I needed. I was pretty tired. The following day, as you can imagine. There was a goat. It was the weirdest thing. We live on the coast and this was like by the beach, like just at a cafe by the beach, and there was someone who was feeding their goat. Never seen anything like it. Anyway, it was the best. Yeah, it was the day of the birthday party. This was our little beverages at the end. My gorgeous 15-year-old. Oh, it was another really hot day. It was a quite hectic summer. And then, yeah, so Sunday and then sermon notes. This is the last week of January. So in Australia, on the 26th, we have a public holiday. It's a complicated and emotional day for a lot of people. We had our family over to celebrate my son's 15th birthday. His birthday is the day after. So it was a lot of fun. On his actual birthday, I worked in the morning and then we watched a movie. We went out for dinner. He really loves lots of different kinds of food actually, but we went out for a yum cha style Chinese, which was delicious. The boys started school officially, so I, as a homeschooler, still follow term times because my eldest is in a face-to-face mainstream school. So that I don't have one on holidays and the other one trying to do schoolwork, which just seems a little bit rough. I track the terms as well. So my eldest went back to school, so did my youngest. So we started doing some learning on that day. Yeah. son had the swimming carnival. I worked on the Saturday. We went for a beach swim, and that's how we finished January. Photos of the family. I got this little sticker. Actually, sorry, it's not a sticker. The tip, it's a bit of ephemera, and I stuck it in. And to finish up, you've got some review pages. And that is pretty much the month of January. So I have set up February already, similar guys. And again, done this, and I will walk you guys through that once it is filled out. So I hope that was interesting to see a different way that someone is using the complete planner. Yeah, feel free to let me know if you have questions. I'll try to link sort of stores that I've purchased from below, but if I miss anything or you're wanting to know something specific, please do let me know. I'm more than happy to tell you. All right. Happy 2026, even though it is February, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.